So, this game, we're going to be playing Malthael. I happened upon this character in the draft because he is just, honestly, he's very good, but he's also very situational, I think, is probably the best word. Malthael has an interesting playstyle where he will trick a lot of newer players, or newer players to him, into diving as hard as they can, as often as they can, and that is the easiest way to just fucking die over and over again. Just he does not have tank levels of health. He barely has melee assassin level health, which is something that you'll probably run across if you do play him. He is an offlaner. He is incredible at clearing waves. He is very methodic though. So playing him, you're going to see in this game, there are lots of different ways to get shit done, but you have to be aware of the time frame it takes to do that. So all of his abilities have a very slow amount of damage. It's good damage, it just takes a while to get going. And then his alt, Last Rites, is the icing on the cake, basically. All that patience that you put into your engage up to that point that you can hit that button, you drop it, boom, curse exploded, enemy is dead. So we'll get into the game. I'll get a bit more into how I think this character should be played and where he makes the most sense. It's a Tomb of the Spider Queen game, so if you're going to pick Malthael, that honestly I feel like is one of the best maps to do it because of the way that he can rotate and the way that he can clear. He can really, really put some pressure on these lanes and on the objective in general. I mean, he's a very laser focused character, but you'll get the hang of it. Let's hop in here. I'll learn you some things. I'll learn me some things. Everybody will get something. Alright, here we are. Kind of two birds with one stone, to be honest, with Malthael. The melee assassin, who is also very much an offlaner. But, take a look at the comps. Get from it what you can. There we go. Basically, my thought process in doing this, I had Malthael as a... This is either a second round pick or a last round pick. Enemy team had... Hell, I can't even remember how this draft went. But Malthael was picked before Garrosh. So the enemy team did pick that hero. Oh, go forward a little bit, see if anybody picks up those talents. Garrosh was picked after Malthael, which seemed really dumb on the enemy team's part. For the specific reason that Garrosh's whole kit revolves around his armor making him tanky, and Malthael doesn't give a fucking shit about that. But I went for the Pale Horse at 1 because in 9 out of 10 situations you're going to want to be able to rotate with Malthael because you're going to be clearing the off lane more often than not pretty quick rather than just letting it fall into the tower, which is kind of standard with the tanky offlaners. But Malthael's an assassin, and obviously he wants to be in the faces of people to kill them. But I have really, really good engage on my team with Diablo, with Zul, with the Roots, with Kel'Thuzad with the chains and the Roots. I have a lot of really, really good crowd control, even Uther, to just knock some people down. Oh, buddy. Immediately just want to start dumping our trait onto Garrosh, get close to him, make sure he starts backing up a lot sooner than he probably has to. Enemy team making as much as they can out of that rotation because they lost the initial skirmish. We're not top lane right now. Looks like we're getting there. Nice. Didn't lose too much XP. And we definitely didn't lose any in the bottom lane because I was so quick to get here. This is going to be a bit of a boring part of the game itself. This is just kind of... Varian can't do anything to me pre-level 4. This Varian in particular takes Twin Blades. Because I guess he was thinking, fuck it. Or maybe he was just thinking that's what he needed to fight me in lane. It does make things a little bit easier for him, but if I was playing the lane less aggressively, it still would have been us winning. I turned in there because there wasn't really much of a gank for me to do. Our team is pushed up stupid far in the top and the middle lane right now, and we just want to soak experience, get the easy turn in. I walked back into that, and I cannot believe it. I wanted to put the death mark onto Garrosh for that specific reason. To get around him. I'm not sure what took him... Whatever. I did want to follow him up here because he is going to be looking for ganks as that tank. And half the time I don't care about getting thrown by Garrosh, because if we're doing it right and we're in... I almost tapped right there, but Uther's got me. If we're doing it right, Garrosh should be auto-attacked, giving us an escape. When he goes to throw us. So we'll see if that really is what happens, but I feel like that's what should happen in that particular instance. Malthael, just a wonderful counter to Garrosh. I took Die Alone at this stage as well for talents. Varian, there he is with the Twin Blade. I can't straight up fight him. We just have to get our trade on him and then start using our Q to get the burst damage. So he eventually loses more. I think we might actually even out on this lane, to be perfectly honest. Because you see, he can go in whenever he fucking feels like, and my mana goes real low. Lost Diablo in the middle lane. Can't really pay attention to that with as much as our lane's getting pushed in here. Enemy team very close to the turn-in. We are not, but I did get my 7 gems in. Trying to stop him from doing the same, but they're putting in a majority of the work on the enemy team over there. The whole idea right now that we can win this lane is based on getting our passive onto Varian and catching him from range. Because when he goes in with Warbringer, or not Warbringer, the charge, is it just charge? I can't fucking remember. But when he goes in and he starts getting those auto attacks on us, he can keep it up, and we can't auto attack back into him. Our damage is much more sustained. It's a slower sustain. His is insanely fast with his auto attacks. So we're just going to get the turn in, make sure that the lane's doing good in the bottom. Our team still looking for turn in top. Trying to clear out those lanes. We're pushed up still. So again, there's not a whole lot for me to do in roaming. I might not actually be reacting to it super fast either, but we can definitely out clear Varian, so I have the opportunity to go anywhere. There is the CC from oh god, Diablo dead again. From Zool. Zool is going to be one of our main engages. We're going to be looking for root targets with Malthael often, because root targets are going to be the focus for our team too a lot. Because they should be... I'm dead here. Even with our... Yeah. Even with our exit strategy on Garrosh, nothing we could do there. Was not expecting the Varian gank. Really wasn't looking at the map at all. But the enemy team really... After they killed Diablo, they could do whatever they want. So, honestly, we should have been backwards. Good counter engage from the enemy team to get that kill. But here we are. Now we're back. We're going to go to the top lane. Bye, KT. Malthael, insanely good at clearing objectives like these. The Web Weavers especially, they have... they've got the minions from the wave, they've got their own minions, and they've got their own decent chunk of health. So our passive is going to shred them pretty quick. Not to mention that you don't have to spend any mana doing this, honestly, unless you got to clear it faster with your Q and your W. Nice and dead. Didn't get caught, even though I was slowed. Suck it, enemy team. Full level down right now because of the enemy team's pushing. I want to go for the flank, even though Diablo is 100% dead right now. But, oh, he tried to throw me back into the root. I think he definitely saved his own life there. I am not going to save this fort. I'm pretty sure 1 minion attack. Yep, there it is. I should be... Well, I was thinking I was going to go top, and it looks like the top lane cleared itself out. So now we got to go back down to our lane and hope to God that it doesn't go too hard on us. Die alone damage, really not putting a whole lot of permanent damage onto Varian, which is... I didn't actually think it was going to go that way. Apparently the passive healing that he gets in Twin Blades with that 7 talent, I think it is enough to outsustain our damage, which is pretty nuts. I'm just turning in. I don't want to fight them while we're 9 and they're 10. Apparently my team did not get the memo, or the memo. Emo. I don't know what I was going for there. Varian thinks he's going to chase me down. I'm just going to put some damage on him and use my Q to heal up. Make sure that he can't get too much off of it. He traded better than I did, but I still lived, and he thought he was going to kill me. So fuck that guy. Right now, our web weavers, solely just using them to get 10 at this point, because that is what we need desperately to fight with our comp. If you'll notice, it is very, very engagey, a very walk into the enemy team. Kel'Thuzad is the only manner of poke that we really have. So I just want to hit that fucking power spike so we can start team fighting on even tier and really showing the enemy team what the fuck is up. I really want that Varian kill, but he's gonna get away. Bone Prison's already gone. You can see though, had we been a little bit quicker to react with the rotation, which is something I should be paying attention to more with Malthael, he would have been ultra dead. Got the auto on Garrosh nice and fast. And then this should be a last rites. Got it. First stack of the game. Soon as we hit 10, I popped that fucking last rites. And Garrosh is the target. Period. Ever. Getting Deckard zoned from his team. He can't heal them if he's way off the fuck over here. And there we go. There's the Varian kill in the bottom. Even though we can't kill Deckard, he can't do what he's supposed to do. So that was definitely the way to play that. Back to what I was saying though, Garrosh is the target with the last rites. Him being the main tank, him wanting to walk into our team, him not having any way to deal with our percentage damage, and then their team having Varian with Shield Wall, Alarak with Counter-Strike, and then Genji with his W and X-Strike, all being horrible targets for last rites. That does not mean you should take Tormented Souls in this case, though, because the last rites is still perfect for Garrosh. Maybe not so much Kayn, because Kayn seems to be able to heal himself an obnoxious amount. And can kind of trick you into using your abilities on him. But that being the case, that was my thought process in picking this ultimate. And then it does play out really, really well for us. We're still down a level in experience. And the enemy team firing off the web weavers because my team wanted to get the camp. I believe we could have contested... God, I'm not sure. I remember thinking when they got this camp that it's like, that's a stupid plan. But it did do a fair amount of defending, so maybe I should just shut the fuck up and have gone to do the camp with them faster. Enemy team engaging right now in mid. Here we go. Hey! Apparently I have died, according to the observer. Lost the bottom fort, saved the top one, got a couple kills, got the experience evened out. Well, the talents evened out for our team. Honestly, you just kind of have to trust them sometimes as the offlaner when you're getting experience, especially in the situation where we're down. The enemy team went in there. I'm not sure how they died, but that obviously gave us a comeback window. As of right now, oh, come on. We got our passive on him, so we can't jump to him, but it looks like we're going to be okay. I didn't cast my ult until that popped, and then we got the stack for it. 2 stacks onto the last rites, decreasing the cooldown, being nice and helpful, especially in those instances. I picked up Inevitable End, I think that's what that's called. Yeah, Inevitable End. At 13, to be able to turn off CC from Deckard and possibly the taunt from Garrosh if I can, you know, hit the button first. But Inevitable End, you do have to have your passive on people. You do have to kind of trade your offense for defense. Right now, I am just looking to go in around these guys if they decide to engage on my team. Here is the objective. Diablo going in for the APOC. I'm just zoning Varian at this point, so he can't go in and do anything. He's going to turn off my healing, but I'm also going to do some stupid damage to him. My healer's backing me up. He can't go in to help his team. He's just going to run up and clear top, and we're going to basically get this mid fort for free because he's not around. Which is the way that these objectives on this map specifically, and maps like Alterac and Garden Terror, should be played. I am on my mount right now specifically because I want to be able to get close to put auto attacks out. Got that stack on Garrosh because again he's my focus target for the ult. Super simple, super easy to keep track of. No, KT. Ooh. I have jack shit for health right now. There's the heal. Got the gems. I don't want to go losing them either. So, more to what I was saying. Oh, got to pick up all his gems now. And my team turned the feed switch on. And I'm leaving. Because I have 33 gems. I'm thinking maybe I can save Uther. I'm not going to commit anything more than what I did just there. That was a 3 versus 4 in the best case scenario, and I'm not going to throw away any of our objective momentum because those two stayed too long. And then our KT dying earlier, and then just lots of dumb decisions. Like once that wall came down, we should have just left. Easy turn in though for the 33. All of the pressure is off our shoulders now, and our team can do whatever they want because, to be honest, top lane's pushed, bottom lane is pushed as well. Even if they do get that boss, there it is. It's just going into the fort. We can clear it out with our team because the enemy has to clean out their lanes. Honestly, they were probably just getting the boss, so we didn't get it. But it's not a particularly damaging boss. Like, they don't have a turn-in to go with it. They don't have much of anything to really make this meaningful other than denying it to us, which is it's pretty low on the priorities. And we even managed to save the top fort. Look at that. Look at that. I don't want these fuckers killing it, so we're just going to turn them right around. Got Zool passive going, pushing the lane back. Right now, we should be looking to fight. Our lanes are pushed. There's not much for us to do right now other than run around and grab the gems. It's obviously pretty clear that the team fights are going in our favor, and with the way that the game played out up to this point, we have the momentum. I know where they are. I'm trying to get my team on board. Garrosh going for the throw. There's the taunt. I didn't have the inevitable end ready. I'm trying to get all over the place. There is Garrosh. He's not going to die and give me the stack, but he is going to die and fuck his team over, basically. So long story short, I mean, the enemy team wasn't showing on the map. They could only be a couple places, and I didn't think they were stupid enough to go for that bottom camp. But catching him there was really, really big for our team, and then singling Garrosh out away from his DPS and our front line really helped solidify that team fight for us. So one of the things that you have to do with Malthael in particular is be patient. I know his kit makes you think like, hey, jump in, you do damage, but you can't do that. All of his damage is packed into a very... Yeah, Uther wouldn't turn in. I don't know. He was walking around in circles for some dumbass reason. But all of Malthael's damage is packed into abilities that they do a decent amount, but they have to ramp up. Just like his passive, everything about Malthael has to ramp up. It's like the creeping fingers of death. So you can't jump in. You really don't want to engage outside of your E and putting your passive on people that way until your tanks go in. Your frontline can eat some of the pressure, the cooldowns. And then at that point, once a lot of the enemy CC is down, you're free to jump in, start doing some cleanups, drop your ult, just make shit fall apart for the enemy team. Variant off clear in the bottom lane, so this is again super easy for us to fight right now. Somebody thought that it would be better to clear the top lane, and everybody said let's go. So, even though it was not the good plan to do that, that middle keep does not die. And this is us with a basically third health web weaver thinking, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll kill this fucking full health keep. It's fine. Everything's fine. Didn't even get a chance to last rights Garrosh there. Now I have to look for another target. I honestly don't know who it would be. I think it's It's got to be Garrosh. Potentially Alarak. I mean, Alarak's ult is, or his protected is on a much longer cooldown, so as soon as he pops it, we're ready. There he is. But he still held on to... I don't know why he held it that long, honestly. I have no idea. And then Genji doing Genji things. Like, fuck off. We're in full retreat. We have 20, but we just gave up a kill in Diablo. He's still making his way back. I don't want Uther to die. KT went and got that middle keep that he was so diligent in telling us not to take earlier. So, Band-Aid. Honestly, there's nothing left on the map to do but this camp. We don't have the turn-in. Enemy team does have a turn-in, so we could contest it, but honestly, look at our lanes. Like, even if they do get it, that push isn't going to mean as much. We have catapults in the top and the middle, which kill web weavers like nobody's fucking business. The only lane really for them to do anything in is bottom, but even then, that's pushed up too. Top is equalizing-ish, but those catapults are going to shove it right back. So we're just looking for the enemy team right now. Like, okay, I guess that's fine. We got the turn in. Our team is fighting top right now. I could not let all those gems go. Even though it's just 6 of them, apparently. I spent way too long killing that minion. I should have been on my horse running to my team already. But luckily, the pale horse is saving us. Oh, why didn't you pull him? I was ready for the pull. Oh, those are enemy web weavers. They were... It's red right now, so I thought it was ours because we're the red team. But it's just red regardless because this is enemy. That makes more sense. That makes much more sense, seeing as how I earlier said that we didn't have enough to turn in. And we were just kind of goaltending bottom anyway, so... What are you paying a retreat for? Oh, maybe that's why. Caught his toe with the E. Now he's just going to be visible for a little while, and we're going to catch Varian doing God knows what down there. And just like that, the enemy team's Web Weaver is totally fucking useless, like I said. We can look at the boss right now because Varian's dead. We don't really have any pressure coming from the enemy team. They don't have any ridiculous boss control other than maybe stay a while and listen, or a throw. There's not a whole lot. If we play this right, they can't contest it. So our boss damage in particular is really fucking good. And then with our buddies here, it should be a nice quick boss. Enemy team is starting to show in that top lane, so I want to move down and make sure that they don't come too far up. I just want to be in the position to push them back so somebody can cap the point. Didn't even need to worry about it though. Got them both, jumped on the garage. I ended up taking Massacre later on in the talent tree, which is making our W do... I still got caught by it. I saw him wind it up and got caught. But he's dead. My god, he's not. Varian protected. Yet another reason I really didn't want to put that on him. I believe Garrosh isn't dead. Garrosh must have just bitched out really quick. We do not have amazing core damage, but we do have catapults here and a tank who just does not give a fuck with the boss. Definitely earning that kill, and there goes the keep, or the fucking core, because 4 catapults and a boss is pretty fucking unstoppable. All in all, that game went really, really fucking well. We just had to make it to level 10 to even out the tiers, make sure those fights could go better, and there we are, delivering the gems. That is the way that usually goes with Malthael. He is kind of a feast or famine type hero. If you're ahead, you're going to do fucking well. If you're behind, it's tougher to equalize. So keep that in mind when you're playing him. Things to take away from that game is to be more cognizant of the rotations. At 20, I took the respawn, the cheat death, basically. Cheat death because he is death. Being more cognizant of the rotations with the Pale Horse, want to be able to look at our teammates and do stuff more often for them. A lot of the damage that we had the damage that we took from the enemy team could have been mitigated if I was using Inevitable End more preemptively, reacting quicker to their CC and their engage. So that is something in particular I need to work on with Malthael. That is a great takeaway for anyone playing Malthael. Get used to that talent, because that is what makes him harder to kill, and makes him super annoying with his level 20 and the rest of his kit. So basically all that Malthael is going to do is soak lanes, rotate for kills, create pressure on the map, and then in team fights your whole objective is to get that single target explosion with his ult, or just lay down enough damage passively from your trait and your E to give your team the sustained advantage that they need. He has a lot of functions. They are all very confusing when you look at his kit, but once you get some time with Malthael, you'll really understand what it means to kill people with him. Because he's death. Because he's a fucking angel of fucking death, and he's got 2 little sickles, and he makes people sad and scream. Anyway, that was it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment if you got anything from this video. If you play him a different way, please do tell. I would, well, I'm always looking for stuff to get better at this character in particular, because I do like him. I like all the Diablo characters. Yeah, but anyway, thanks for your time. I hope you have yourself not a death-filled day, But maybe it's a little bit foggy. Have a foggy day.